Hey Algebra 1, this is Mrs. Martin here today with some information about your assignment called the Desmos Inequality Activity. So well done, those of you who have completed the mid-unit. I appreciate you trying to stay on time and trying to stick with the calendar. I know many of us are having a hard time getting our things in on time, and that's okay. I know a lot's going on at home for you, but when you do find the opportunity to get your things done, make sure you do so. Remember that currently our goal is to get your grades as high as possible by learning as much as we can, okay? So remember that everything that you're turning in right now and all the material that you're mastering is not only helping your grade boost up, but also preparing you for what's to come next year. Okay, so for today, we're continuing on with the rest of Unit 3, which is systems, and we're going to continue first with the Desmos Inequality Activity. So I've got it here on my Schoology page for period 6 already, and I can also scroll all the way to the bottom here, and it's right there. So when I click on it, what it's going to do is it's going to open up some information about the activity, okay? And notice that it's telling you to go ahead and follow along, oops, typo, with the document to answer the questions and fill in the boxes. So when this video is published, you'll also have this video posted down here in case you're watching these videos because you subscribed and maybe you're just getting notifications. So I'm going to click on the Desmos Inequality Activity, and it's going to prompt me, just like last time with the systems project through Desmos, it's going to prompt me to make a copy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and excuse the bajillion tabs at the top of this window. So here's my activity. Okay, no need to add your name here. When you submit it to me on Schoology, it already has your name attached. So first I'm going to start by using the Desmos calculator. So actually I went ahead and linked the Desmos calculator in the activity. So when you click on this blue area, the Desmos calculator will pop up, and here it is for me to use. Okay, now the next step in this activity tells you to graph the inequality y is greater than 3x minus 4. So I'm going to go back to Desmos and I'm going to type that in. Y is greater than 3x minus 4. Okay, so there's the graph, and now notice we're not using an equal sign anymore, but instead we're using an inequality symbol. Okay, and we've used inequalities before, except before we only had one variable. Now we're faced with two variables where it almost looks like the equation of a line, except that it isn't an equation. There's no equal sign. It's an inequality now. Okay, and my first step is to make some observations about what does the graph look like, right? Because our next step is to answer the questions below. So what does the graph look like? So I'm going to come over here and I might make some observations in that box. Any observations that you can think of. Maybe the first thing you notice is that you've got some red coloring in now. It's not just a regular graph like before when we had an equal sign. Right now it's got some coloring happening. So you might want to mention that. So try to make as many observations as possible to fill in this box, okay? To continue, for the coordinate points below, use Desmos to plot them and see where they are on the graph, okay? So before I do that, let me take this off and share with you how I did that. And I'll take off the box as well. Okay, and we're just going to do all this part together so that you can have access to that and know how I did it. Okay, so first we're going to plot the coordinate points on Desmos to see where they are, and then use the equation tool under the insert tab at the top to substitute x and y into the inequality and determine if it is true or false. So that was quite the sentence. So let's start here. Coordinate point 0, 0. My first instructions are to plot it. So I'm going to go to Desmos. I'm going to click into the second line, and I can type 0, 0. And we can label it if we'd like. And Desmos plots it for us. Okay, I mean, I'm sure most of us know where 0, 0 is, but Desmos puts a dot there for us so we can really see where it is in relation to the inequality. And as I'm looking at this, and I think you guys would all agree that this dot is in the shaded area, and I'm gonna call this area that's colored in, I'll refer to it as the shaded area. The point 0, 0 is in the shaded area of my graph. So when I come back over here, location in the graph, I'm not on the line, and I'm not in the shaded area. I am in the shaded area of the graph. So you've got two options. You could highlight it for me so that I see you know where that is. So again, just to show that one more time, I highlight this line, and I'm going to click on my highlight color tool. And you can pick whatever color you want as long as I can see it. I don't pick black where the letters don't show up. So there it is, light blue in the shaded area. Another option, just so you guys can start getting good at using Google Docs, I can click on this little box here, and when I right click on my computer, it offers me the option of turning that into a check mark. So you have that option as well. Okay, so far I used Desmos to plot the point, okay, and then I marked the location in the graph. And finally, it says, you know, to enter equations to show if it's true or false. Okay, it tells me to show my work. And so not all of us can just write in Google Docs because we don't have the technology for that. But what we can do is we can go up here to the top and click Insert. When I click Insert, I have the option to insert an equation. Okay, so again, that was the Insert tab, and I've got an equation option, okay? And I know I've got an equation here because I've got this light blue rectangle. I've got all these equation tools up here. There's all sorts of stuff that you can kind of play around with and figure out on your own how to use. But for today, I just need the equation tool to show my work of substituting x and y. So remember, this one's x, this one's y. I'm going to substitute it into my original inequality to see if it is indeed true or false. Okay, make sure the sentence is true or false. So let's figure this out. First, I'm going to start with my inequality at the top. Okay, y is greater than 3x minus 4. Okay, so there it is. It's always nice to start out with the inequality or the equations you were given. So there's my given sentence there. And when I click the Enter button, it finishes off my equation. Now, when we're doing work on paper, we always like to start a new line, right? So I'm going to hit Enter again. And I want to keep showing work, and I want to keep showing work by using equation tools. So I'm going to come up to the top bar here, and I've got an option. So I can go to Insert Equation again if I want to, but I've got a shortcut now. I can just click, so right here, I'm going to click New Equation. And again, I've got this little light blue box that shows that I can insert some more math stuff. So, looking at my coordinate point, what's my y value? I'm going to substitute now, right? I'm ready to substitute. And my y value is 0. And I'm going to continue with the greater than symbol. I've got 3 as a coefficient. And then I've got x, but remember, I'm substituting. So I'm going to substitute a 0 in here. Okay, and once I substitute a 0 in here, I can finish off my number sentence. I can finish off my inequality with the minus 4. Again, I'm going to hit Enter twice. And I'm going to input my final sentence, math sentence, which is 0 is greater than, now let's think about this here, a little bit of mental math. 3 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. And I'm going to hit Enter to close my equation. Now, I must ask myself, is 0 greater than negative 4? If you think about a number line, the answer to that is yes. So it's true. 0 is greater than negative 4. Okay, so I plotted 0, 0 on my Desmos graph. There it is in blue. I told the document where I saw it. I saw it in the shaded area. And then I showed some work to show that 0, 0 is true. So, and if you guys remember from the old stuff, or from systems and equations and everything we've been doing all year, if it's true, that means it is a solution to the inequality. All right, so your job for the rest of this assignment is to fill in the next 4. So do those on your own. I'll leave this up for you guys so you can continue on. And then answer these 4 questions in your conclusions. What do you notice about false coordinate points? What about the true ones? What happened to any points that might have been on the line? And why do you think those might be false, if they are? Okay, so your assignment today is to fill out this entire document. And then when you're finished, as usual, many of you have gotten very, very good at this. You can upload, you'll have a submit assignment button. I don't, because I'm not special. You're special because you're students, so you have submit assignment button. You'll click there and you will submit the document that you've created, okay? A lot of you did a nice job of submitting this as a Google Doc so that I can make some comments on there. And then if you have any errors, you can go back and fix those errors so you can earn those full points. So remember, if we go back and forth with this document a few times, it's not a big deal. We just want to make sure that everything's accurate and you understand why they're accurate and you're ready to move on to the next step. Okay, so take your time, get this thing done. Try to really understand what's happening on an inequality graph. And then look out for my next video, okay, where we'll do a little bit of lecture and get a little more understanding about how inequalities work and what systems of inequalities look like and how we can go ahead and work together to wrap up Unit 3 and move on to some fun statistics. Okay, so to those of you who have again been trying your best to stay on task, and if you fall a little behind, you put in that extra effort to catch up. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the emails that you've been sending out to ask questions and to get clarifications. And at the end of the day, I'm just really happy that you guys are putting in that effort to learn. So keep it up. Stay strong. We've only got a couple more weeks of school left, and I hope to hear from all of you soon. Okay, take care.